Good afternoon, good afternoon, good afternoon. I've seen many faces going on. Good afternoon, Alex. Good afternoon, Sandra. Good afternoon, Colin. Good afternoon, Mr. Ross, our VP himself. Good afternoon, Devine and Asha and Zue and Shirk and Shikara and Denise. Good afternoon, everybody. I would like to welcome you today. And welcome to you and thank you for joining us for another session in our Level Up program. This Level Up program is a focused series which has provided insight, knowledge, and resources for our Black-led businesses. But before we get started, let's begin with a land acknowledgement provided by the BBA video. Ben? We seem to be having a, here we go.
Oh, no problem. Just
As we gather together here as family and friends, we acknowledge this sacred land on which we reside. It has been the site of human activity for 15,000 years. This land is the territory of the Huron-Wendat and Petun First Nations, the Seneca, and most recently the Mississaugas of the Credit River. The territory was the subject of the Dish with One Spoon Wampum Belt Covenant, an agreement between the Iroquois Confederacy and Confederacy of the Ojibwe and allied nations to peaceably share and care for the resources around the Great Lakes. Today, this place is still the home of many indigenous peoples from across Turtle Island, and we are grateful to have the opportunity to work in the community on this territory. We are also mindful of the broken covenants and the need to strive to make right with our relations. We also acknowledge people of African descent who were brought here against their will or in search of a safe place to live their lives and raise their children. Thank you.
Fabulous. And let me proceed by also going into our legal disclaimer. The ideas and strategies discussed in this program are general in nature and should not be considered advice specific to any individual. They are designed to communicate basic information to help participants understand the basics of the topics presented. The materials neither purport nor intend to give any financial, legal, or tax advice or earnings expectation. Nothing in this program should be considered investment or financial advice. For financial, legal, or other investment advice, you should seek the advice from your own trusted, independent financial, legal advisor or consult with qualified advisors prior to acting with regards to the ideas presented in this program. The opinions rendered in this program are those of the presenter and does not necessarily represent those of the BBPA, RBC, HSBC, the Donald Reed Estate, or any other sponsors. And with that, again, welcome, 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 and thank you for joining us today for another session in our Level Up program. I'm your host, Anton James, a marketing and strategy consultant and an event host and moderator. Today's program is one of many programs brought to you by the Black Business Professional Association, or the BBPA, which has made significant efforts to understand, respond, and provide services and resources to support our community and their business growth. Specifically, we are in the Level Up program, which is a 13-week program designed to be a finance and funding masterclass for Black-led businesses. So whether you are a startup or you're an established business, this program seeks to help by providing key information from industry experts regarding fundamental business considerations to help companies scale and grow. Today's program is the 12th in this series and will focus on leveraging technology in managing your business finance. So we're going to explore software that makes small business finance bookkeeping easier. Before we get into that program, I would like to take a moment to welcome our treasurer, Michael Pinnock, who will give some greetings on behalf of the BBPA and also give some context to our program and series. Mr. Michael Pinnock.
thank you very much, Mr. Anton James. And I see my VPs there. I'm not going to allow him to go off without saying a few words himself. So I'll be short. Again, as you explained, this is one of our flagship programs. We run it in 13-week squad because those people are in the business of education, those PhD that works at these universities suggested that people learn best in a 13 weeks, between 12 and 13 weeks court system. And so that is why we do it like this. And we're at our 12th week now. And for those who have been with us from week one, would have recognized that we sort of take it through a cycle from the concept to the delivery. And now we're at the stage where we will hear from experts in their own right and as a group, how you can make a small company large by applying technology as the leverage. They see it's ordinary people doing extraordinary things. So that is what we want to do here. So on behalf of the BBP, I am really proud when I come to these sessions to see. Thank you for being here. I know that there are so many other places you could be now, so many other things you could be doing now, but you choose to spend the next hour with us, and we are so grateful for that. And I'm going to put my VP in a spot because I'm going to call it in now. I hope he's still there or not busily doing, a lot of other things as he normally do. But again, on behalf of the BBP as a treasurer, welcome. And I know the session would be as productive and as useful as the ones we have had before.
And with that, we thank you, Michael Pinnock, and we will pivot at this moment to our VP of the Black Business Professional Association, Ross Kadas. Ross, you can come say a few words.
Yes, hello everyone, and thank you all for joining. I want to thank Zero for taking the time to do this. It's a testament of your contribution to the community. I've been on many calls with Zero over the past, and the dedication that you've shown is being manifested now. When we, as a community, we know this, right? Some of the challenges we have are lack of access to networks, okay? Lack of access to data and understanding where our businesses are, but most importantly, access to funding and the appreciation to understand and have the financial literacy that other organizations, other people, other communities would have. So this program is fully dedicated to equip us as small businesses, as Black businesses, to be able to ensure that we have what it needs for us to play in the same playing field with everybody else. So I encourage you to continue listening, continue taking notes, continue asking questions, and take advantage of this opportunity as we build ourselves as a community. So thank you and enjoy this afternoon.
Thank you very much, Ross Kadas. Again, that is the VP of the Black Business Professional Association and was preceded by Michael Pinnock, the treasurer of the Black Business Professional Association. So let me give you some ground rules. For those who are there, this is meant to be a discussion-based presentation today where we will going and we'll be hearing from our experts that I'm about to introduce right now. But by all means, we want your feedback. This is for you. This is for you, by us to actually go together. So be prepared as you listen to put aside some questions. Think of some questions you may want to have to ask. And you have two options. You can either raise your hand or you can type it in the chat and I can review the questions. We're going to go to their presentation first, and then from there, it will be followed by a brief moment of questions. Now, with that said, let's pivot to our special guest for today. Let me introduce our two guests, and they are Kerry Woods and Desura Hayer. Now, please forgive me. Please forgive me. I tell you, you know what? It's terrible. That's okay. Who are they? Well, Kerry Woods is the Director of Partner Services at Xero. She leads a team of subject matter experts who were formerly in the public practice. Her team supports thousands of Canadian accounting professionals in their adoption of cloud tools, allowing them to gain new efficiencies and revenue opportunities, all while revolutionizing the client experience. Kerry has been fundamental in driving change across practices of all shapes and sizes, from solo practitioners to large multinational firms. In addition, she has been instrumental in Xero's splash into the Canadian market and with ongoing product releases. Prior to joining Xero, Kerry spent most of her career in public practice in a small accounting firm and then transitioned to Deloitte to help them and their team in the cloud accounting industry. Working in public practice, Kerry got the opportunity to work with small businesses of all sizes in a plethora of industries. Additionally, we have Desura Hayer. Desura is a partner consultant at Xero. specializing in workflow consultation with accounting professionals. What she loves most about her job is showing accountants how they can leverage technology for their clients and their practices, enabling them to spend time doing the best work for their clients. She has been with Xero for nearly 2 years, and prior to that, spent 6 years in Intuit in various roles, supporting accountants, bookkeepers, and their small business clients. Ladies and gentlemen, it is my pleasure to give you Carrie Woods and Dessou Haye.
Thank you. Thank you, Anton.
Thanks, Anton. I'm just going to go ahead and share my screen. Can you see my screen, everyone?
Looks good, Des.
Perfect. So thank you, Anton. Thank you, BBPA. Welcome everyone to our session on leveraging technology in managing your business finances. We're so glad that you're joining us today from wherever you may be, even if that's on your couch. But before we begin, just a quick video.
Chapter 1, How Xero Will Change Your Whole Life for the Better. You got into business to do what you love, not to get stuck in the books, chase invoices, sort payroll, or file tax returns. But with Xero, your numbers are taken care of, so you can focus on other important things. Let's take a look. Chapter 2, One Solution for Everything. Keep your business running smoothly with Xero. Automate tasks like reporting and invoicing. Stay on top of filing and make end-of-year tax returns easy, so you've got a full financial picture of your business. Ah, beautiful. Chapter 3, Connect Xero to your bank account. Spend less time on data entry. Connect to your bank so transactions can flow automatically into Xero each day. You can match your transactions with your accounts easily. Know how your cash flow looks, and keep track of money going out and coming in. Cha-ching! Chapter 4, Collaborate with your advisor. Xero lets you work with your accountant, bookkeeper, or employees in real time. Employees can submit expenses, manage leave, and send invoices, while you and your advisor can discuss business data and see all the same information at once, even if you're oceans apart. Chapter 5, Make Xero work for you. Customize Xero to suit your business. With over 800 add-on apps in the app marketplace, you can automate everyday tasks and build your own plan by adding Xero expenses and projects. With everything in one place, running your business has never been easier. Beautiful.
Great. And next, we're going to go through some quick housekeeping just to start us off. So if you have any questions during the presentation, please make sure to type in the chat box and we'll answer them at the end of the session. Also, a little disclaimer from Xero. All content provided by Xero during this event is general in nature and should not be taken as professional taxation, financial, business, or legal advice. Xero recommends that customers always obtain specific and detailed professional advice about any proposed business activity.
So we know that small business is challenging. When you think about your business, what are some of the things that keep you up at night? When you think about your business finances, what are some of the things that keep you up at night? Now, as you reflect on that question, Carrie and I are going to tell you how technology can help you manage your business finances. Anton was kind enough to introduce us, so we'll not introduce ourselves. We'll just go ahead and introduce Xero.
Thanks, Dos. So what is Xero? So Xero is more than just cloud accounting software for small to medium-sized businesses. It allows you to focus on your passion, why you got into business in the first place, all while automating cash flow management, business administration, gaining visibility into your business, collaborating with your accountant, and so much more. With Xero, you can access your business from anywhere at any time. Your business data is accessible across all your devices, including your mobile phone. And you also get access to a wide array of third-party apps. We have more than 100,000 accountants and bookkeepers who use our platform to collaborate with their small business clients in over 180 countries. And we pride ourselves on being a truly global platform, working with firms here in Canada, such as PwC, BDO, M&P, and others. So the story of Xero. We were founded in New Zealand and born in the cloud back in 2006. Xero's founder, Rod Drury, pictured here, was a serial entrepreneur, committed to finding a more collaborative and streamlined way to communicate with his accountant. Since then, we've become leaders in the cloud accounting markets in New Zealand, Australia, and more recently in the United Kingdom. In these countries, adoption of cloud accounting by firms and their clients has grown to be as high as 50% across all small businesses.
Rod's true vision for Xero was to make life better for people in small business, the advisors, and communities around the world. At Xero, our purpose is to have a positive impact on the world by growing small business. We want to make sure that this is at the heart of everything we do. As mentioned earlier, cloud adoption is at 50% in countries such as Australia and New Zealand, where Xero is a market leader. However, cloud adoption globally is just at 20%. And it's even less in Canada. Only 9% of Canadian businesses are currently using cloud-based accounting software.
This brings us to the why. Why should I use technology in managing my business finances? And why does this matter? It matters because 50% of Canadian small businesses fail in their first 5 years. Cash flow is listed as the #1 cause of failure. Having negative cash flow, or just as bad, having poor visibility over your cash flow, is going to hurt any business. As a business grows, you need to hire additional staff, buy more inventory, maybe even rent a bigger office or warehouse. You need to pay your staff, suppliers, and keep the lights on. But where's the money coming from? Using cloud tools like Xero enables you to have anywhere, anytime visibility to your business finances. But Carrie, what if I don't want to use cloud or technology? Well, the world is changing. COVID-19 vaulted us 5 years forward in consumer and business digital adoption in a matter of around 8 weeks. Businesses have changed. The way we do business has changed. Businesses have closed due to COVID, but new businesses have also started because of COVID. Now more than ever, it is so important to be connected to technology. Technology is no longer optional or just for the tech-savvy users. It's now essential for survival. Throughout this pandemic, small businesses needed to apply for grants or loans to help them stay afloat. For example, we know a tailor shop in Toronto that uses Xero and were struggling through the pandemic. They needed to get a loan from the BDC, and because they use cloud accounting, they were able to quickly reconcile their books and access the reports they needed to get the loan. An owner of an organic African store in Halifax using cloud accounting software was able to qualify for SEBA, but said a lot of his friends in the city were not so lucky as they didn't have access to the required data. We saw small businesses that were collaborating with their accountant or bookkeeper on the same cloud accounting platform access these funds faster. It has been more crucial than ever to have updated information at your fingertips so that small businesses can apply for those supports. Without having cloud tools in place, that is an almost impossible task to do. From studies in 2020, it was observed in the US that Black business represented only 9.5% of all businesses. And during the COVID-19 pandemic, there was a 41% decline in Black-owned businesses in the US. In Canada, that number of Black-owned business is even less. A survey done by the group Black in Canada found that even though 1.2 million Canadians identify as Black, representing 3.5% of the population, they found only 2,000 Black-owned businesses of significant scale. Now compare that to approximately 1.18 million key small businesses in Canada.
Even though things seem grim at the moment, the forecasts for the future are encouraging. Every crisis in history showed positive impacts on the economy afterwards, and we're starting to notice it with this one. Crisis jumpstart entrepreneurship. The COVID-19 crisis is creating a platform for sole proprietors to launch their business in an environment where large businesses that could not hire them before remotely now can. With the current state of our economy, many reports are showing the rise of the sole proprietors. It might be a reality for members of your family or your friends. Also, surveys by Harvard Business Review and statistical reports from IBIS estimate that the growth of the self-employed economy will overtake the traditional economy within the next 10 years. And we're not just talking about Uber drivers or Airbnb hosts anymore. We're talking about people out of jobs looking to grow a project into a business that could lead to an even bigger business. Our new reality requires a new perspective. We can now work from anywhere, and there are no limitations as to where you work with different groups of clients. With this pandemic still raging, business owners are looking for all the ways they can adapt their business model to this new reality and implement solutions for their business, not only to survive, but to thrive in the future with an adapted model.
Our research shows that there are compelling benefits to doing more business in the cloud. On average, small businesses who use cloud apps are growing their net profitability 30% faster than those who don't. Businesses which use online tools get paid 33% faster than those that use paper invoices. And 85% of small businesses working with an accountant on Xero survive over that 5-year mark. Still want to know why it's important to use cloud technology? We asked you a question in the beginning. What keeps you up at night? Every business needs to answer 4 basic questions. Can you answer these fundamental questions? Do you know right now how much money you have, what you need to pay, and what you're expecting to receive from your customers? How quickly do you get that money from that customer, and how easy is that process? And are you making a profit? These topics can be summarized into 2 main areas: profitability and cash flow management.
How can technology help? Today's technology will give you the answers in real time, anywhere, and on any device. Cloud accounting software captures transactions from all your business interactions and converts it into actionable information in real time, both for managing the business and doing your taxes. Now, while there are several products on the market, each with their own differences, all online accounting software broadly does the same 4 things. 1, it records your business transactions automatically. 2, it does the accounting calculations for you. 3, it delivers actionable financial information and insights in near real time. And 4, it provides tools for jobs like coding, invoicing, and managing payments. Let's take a closer look at how technology can help. Using technology to gain better visibility into your business cash flow is going to make a difference in your survival. I'm sure you've all heard the term poor or negative cash flow. It essentially means you're spending more cash than your business is bringing in. Now, imagine for a moment that you spent $5,000 more than you made last month. That leaves you with a negative cash flow of $5,000 for March. If that's a one-off, then you can work around it. However, if this happens a lot, then for the sake of your business, it needs to be addressed. Now, you may wonder, why do I need to worry about my cash flow if I'm making a profit? That's a great question. There's a difference between cash flow and profit. Yes, being profitable can increase your cash flow. However, many profitable businesses have poor cash flow and fail as a result. Imagine for a moment that your customers take on average 120 days, approximately 4 months, to pay your invoices, while your suppliers need to be paid after 15 or 30 days. In this scenario, even though your sales may be increasing and you may be profitable, you're not getting paid on time to meet your suppliers' needs or pay other operational expenses. And if you're unable to meet these financial obligations in a timely manner, your creditors may force you into bankruptcy at a period when your sales are growing rapidly. So what is profit anyways? Profit is what remains from sales revenue after all expenses are subtracted, while cash flow is the amount of money you have available at a specific point in time. And insufficient cash flow means that your business cannot meet its financial obligations, such as paying rent, paying suppliers, or even paying employees. To summarize, it's vital to understand the difference between cash flow and profit, as both are necessary to stay in business in the long run. However, in the short run, achieving and maintaining positive cash flow is essential to your business survival. And as we mentioned before, this is the #1 reason why small business fails. Now that we've established how vital cash flow is to your business, we're going to share some of the main causes of poor cash flow and how technology can help to resolve this.
So the first problem we're going to look at is poor visibility. To ensure that cash flow remains healthy, we found that small businesses need a single point of visibility over all the money coming in and going out. Without this, it is challenging to make informed decisions or to plan ahead efficiently or effectively. We find that small businesses are typically making use of multiple payment types, from credit cards to checks to bank transfers, and often have no clear overall picture, either at a snapshot or historically of the transactions they're making. They're often using traditional methods of dealing with payments or expenses and invoices and reporting, or worse, have no planned approach. All this slows down the ability for the business to react, to access funds, and to restructure in the event of unforeseen circumstances. It also offers little in terms of up-to-date analysis. So, how can cloud technology help? Most cloud accounting apps give you a business dashboard. But this gives a high-level overview of how your business is doing. This dashboard could contain graphs and panels with useful business indicators. For example, you can connect all your bank accounts and credit card accounts for real-time, up-to-date information on how much is in the bank. You can also have a panel that shows you total cash in and cash out. You can see invoices owed to you and the bills that you need to pay. And some dashboards also give you an account watch list where you can keep an eye on the balance in certain accounts. So for example, your sales tax account to help manage your cash flow. To summarize, having access to a dashboard allows you to have a one-spot view of your business finances. And in addition to the business dashboard, cloud accounting apps also provide a number of useful reports like cash flow reports or bank summary reports, showing movement of cash in and out of your business during a given period of time.
Now, once you have visibility, the next thing to think about is financial planning. Poor financial planning is another reason a small business could have bad cash flow. We all know that planning is critical when running a business. And you've probably heard the saying, failing to plan is planning to fail. And that's why it's important to take advantage of the financial planning tools that cloud technology provides. One such tool is a budget manager. A budget manager helps to estimate revenue, plan expenditure, and restrict any spending that is not part of the plan. We know that you cannot plan for everything. 2020 definitely threw some massive curveballs. However, in times of uncertainty, having greater oversight over your financial performance and comparing it to a budget would allow you to better identify any unexpected deviations and take action accordingly. More than ever, you need to take tighter and stricter control over your cash flow. Now, when creating a budget for your business, keep in mind that there would always be unexpected events that may impact your ability to reach your budgeted numbers. As such, we recommend that you take a conservative approach by adding an allowance for the unknown. A buffer is a great way to give your business a little safety blanket should you need it. Once you have a budget in place, it's easy to run different reports by budget. For example, you can run a profit and loss by budget or a variance analysis and use that information to make timely decisions to help maintain cash flow for your business. Another great tool that cloud technology provides is a cash flow forecast. A cash flow forecast generally looks at what cash could be coming in and out of your business in the future. It takes into account your bank balance, your total upcoming invoices and bills, and expected due dates to determine how much cash you will have in the future. A cash flow forecast will help you understand where and when your business may run out of cash. It's very important to ensure that you're reconciling your bank accounts regularly for the reports to have accurate and up-to-date information. Now, setting a budget or using a cash flow forecast does not need to be scary. Shortly, we shall share some resources on how you can easily find an accountant that can help you set this up so that your cloud accounting software is helping you have better financial planning.
Well, as mentioned earlier, one of the major causes of poor cash flow is late payment from customers. So think about that for a second. Reflect on your own experiences. How did you feel when a customer didn't pay on time? And did this have a negative impact on your cash flow? Studies show that late payments create an unhealthy cash flow cycle inside a small business, with 77% of small business owners feeling a negative impact from customers not settling their bills on time, while 35% said late payments affected their personal finances and their ability to cover rent and other overheads. So, what affects our ability to get paid faster? What processes can we put in place to ensure we get paid on time? Small business owners and self-employed rely on invoicing to get paid. If your invoicing process is poor and inefficient, this can negatively affect your cash flow. So I'll give you an example from one of my clients. I had an auto mechanic client that would write up invoices on paper for his customers. So now the challenge with this was he had no visibility at a glance, how much he was owed, how much he owed his suppliers for parts. Inventory control was non-existent, and it made his cash flow very challenging. So there are a number of ways poor invoicing processes can affect your cash flow. One of them, invoicing errors. There are quite a number of invoicing errors that could affect payments. Sending the invoice to the wrong contact, itemizing the wrong service offering, and lack of courtesy in invoice are some examples that can lead to customers refusing to pay or calling to request a new invoice. To avoid errors, using a cloud accounting software, it makes it easier to keep detailed reports and track hours and expenses related to each client and project. And additionally, consider proofreading those invoices before sending them to the customers.
Failure to send out invoices as soon as possible after services are rendered or before the product is dispatched could also result in disruption to your cash flow. Think about how you're currently invoicing. We find that a lot of small businesses are still using traditional methods of invoicing, which could include creating invoices in Word or Excel, then posting that invoice to the customer. This could take a few days to get to the customer. Alternatively, by using cloud accounting, you can create a draft invoice to itemize the service or product and then approve it as soon as the job is done. Then in just one click, you can send it directly to the customers. As soon as you click send, the customer will receive the email with the invoice, and they have the option to print it as a PDF copy if required. This is a more streamlined and efficient process and ensures that there are no invoicing delays. Another impact of poor invoicing is to allow late payment. Now, imagine for a moment that you had 2 bills you had to pay, but you only had enough funds to pay one. If the first bill had a late fee charge and the other one did not, which one would you pay first? If you give your clients the option to pay later without a late fee, they may take that option. To discourage late payments, consider if you would like to implement either a nominal late fee or one that is a percentage of the balance owed. You could also consider a credit limit block offered in some cloud accounting software. This feature helps you limit your exposure to certain clients by restricting the ability to invoice clients that have exceeded their credit limit. Additionally, think about updating your invoice terms to ensure that you get paid within the time frame that you decide.
Well, cloud technology can also improve your cash flow and invoicing process by giving you the option to offer convenient payment methods. So cloud accounting software allows you to add a payment service on an invoice. This means your customers can access the invoice online, click the Pay Now button to make a payment straight away. And you can also set up more than one payment service to give your customers different ways to pay you. So for example, if you use Stripe, your customers can pay using credit or debit card and set up automatic payments for repeating invoices. Or if you use Go Cardless, your customers can pay using pre-authorized debit. By enabling your customers to pay on devices they spend most of their time on, you make it easier to get paid faster. Setting automatic invoice reminders. We know that life is busy and your customers may forget to pay you sometimes. But by sending gentle reminders, you're able to jog their memory and remind them to pay you. Cloud technology enables you to automate that process, reducing the need to track the dates yourself or worry about sending too many reminders. You also have the option to personalize the email message that's sent with those reminders. And invoice reminders automatically send an email to your customer if an invoice's due date is coming up or they've missed an invoice payment. You can customize when reminders are sent and who to send them to, and it's another great way technology can help manage your cash flow. You want to make sure you're following up on debt. It's also a good idea to run a report frequently to determine who owes you and if you need to follow up using other methods. You can easily run an aged accounts receivable report to include the contact information of that primary contact so you can follow up if required.
Managing expenses. So we already mentioned that a great way to control cash flow is to stay on top of your expenses. And one way of staying on top of your expenses is tracking what you spend on. Now, there are a few ways that technology can help with this. You can use technology to stay on top of your bank and credit card reconciliation. You can use technology to automate the entry of expenses. For example, you can use apps such as HopDoc or Receipt Bank to snap pictures of your receipts or your bills. Let's talk about HopDoc. So HopDoc is a Xero product. It's a cloud-based data capture and automation tool, and it's also used as a digital filing cabinet. It extracts the key data from the document and then pushes these documents into your cloud accounting software as transactions with those source documents attached. And it solves the pain of data entry and of tracking bills and expenses. So how does it work? You can essentially download the mobile app, snap pictures of your receipts while on the go, a perfect solution for any busy business owner. You could email or forward bills directly into HopDoc using a unique intake email. You could also set up automatic connections so that every time you get a bill from a particular supplier, let's say Rogers or TechSavvy, HopDoc fetches that bill for you. And depending on your configuration, it pushes it into your cloud accounting software automatically as a transaction, again, with that source document attached. All of this helps you to stay on top of your expenses and your liabilities without you having to spend time doing data entry. Once all your expenses and bills are captured, you can look at reports such as your accounts payable to see what bills are fast approaching and if you have enough cash to cover your bills. You can also compare those expenses to your budget and identify areas where action is required. If you're GST, HST registered, cloud technology also takes the guesswork out of your sales tax liability. The amount owed on sales tax is automatically tracked to the appropriate account. So you can, at a glance, see how much you owe and ensure that there are no surprises and that you're keeping aside enough cash to meet your tax obligations. Other ways you can manage your expenses would be to cut out waste where possible. Think about some of your operating expenses. Are there areas where you can cut costs? For example, think about your software subscription. You may be on a premium product, but you're not using all those features. Think about downgrading to a product that best meets your needs. Also, consider automating where possible. We already talked about automating email reminders on invoices, which saves manpower. Think about other manual processes you do today that could be automated with technology solutions. For example, we talked about HopDoc to automate data entry of your expenses and bills. Consider telecommuting. We know it's not possible for all businesses or for all employees within a business, but when it is, it's a huge time saver. Keeping things virtual allows small business to avoid the expense of office space and the ongoing operating cost that comes with it. And as a result, you can focus on producing work at minimum overhead. If you're not able to convert your entire staff to telecommuting, consider converting at least some of them. With cloud tools, your team can work remotely and also be as productive. Now, apart from the functionality you get from cloud accounting software, most cloud platforms are also connected to an app marketplace with hundreds of apps that provide customized solutions to meet your business needs. Now, the idea with Apps Tax is to create matches made in heaven for each industry. Here you can be very specific in creating the right workflow for your small business. For example, a CBC report on how Black businesses have struggled during the pandemic pointed out that most Black businesses surveyed did not have storefronts, and before the pandemic relied on the marketplaces or the outdoors. This has affected Black businesses negatively during this pandemic. By using apps such as Shopify, you're able to set up an online store and start selling to your customers wherever they are. And this also integrates into your cloud accounting software saving you time on data entry and eliminating transcription errors. Coriana and Brianna Dotson, also known as Coco and Britzy, are two sisters that design sunglasses for celebrities, including celebrities like Lady Gaga. They've used apps like Shopify to create an online store and extend their reach. In their own words, they went from bullied to bosses. Building app stacks and developing processes using cloud apps make things easier for you as a small business. It can give you access to a wider client base. It streamlines your workflow internally. It creates efficiency and essentially saves you time to do what you love the most. Building your app stack is also a great example of an area where your accountant can help.
Speaking of an accountant, what is a connected advisor? Xero advisors are experienced bookkeepers and accountants listed on our Xero advisor directory, which you can find on our website, who can provide regular financial advice and support. So each advisor has at least 8 clients on Xero and their staff members who are trained with Xero. You can search for and browse a list of accountants and bookkeepers near you that specialize in your industry. And you can also learn more on the Xero website about what to look for in an accountant or bookkeeper. A quote from one of our customers, Hitash Camby from IKPE Limited said, "Since I got the system, our year-on-year profits have gone up, our paperwork has gone down, and I would say that's a lot to do with the accountants we use as well." An online accounting system that's well set up can drastically reduce the work associated with financial admin, but it can't replace the advice you might get from an accountant or bookkeeper. The technology complements their expertise by removing those mundane tasks from their jobs. Instead of spending time fixing up the accounts, the professionals can focus on interpreting those numbers and delivering strategic advice. Let's watch a quick video so you can hear directly from a business owner using cloud technology and working with his accountant.
My name is Brad Dodds, and I'm the owner of Dodds Building and Contracting. I've been working with John probably since my first year of business in 2006. He's helped me kind of understand how we compare against an industry average. He's able to provide me some direction on controlling our expenses or watching our cash flow, how long we're waiting for our receivables to be paid, able to provide me some more of the technical depth. Basically, I'm a carpenter trying to operate a business. So having somebody with the proper education and the proper experience to be able to help guide me on the more technical aspects that I don't take the time to learn is of huge benefit to me. The big advantage that I'm finding now with using Xero is that it's a lot more simple and intuitive than the previous software we were on. We're trying to find certain transactions, sometimes felt impossible. Xero has cut my time on my bookkeeping software in less than half. With Xero, I'm spending probably under 10 hours a month doing my bookkeeping and job costing, whereas on previous platforms that we were on, I could be spending easily 10 hours a week, if not more, depending on how many invoices we were pumping through. The great advantage with saving us a lot of time is the ability to use apps like Receipt Bank, which automatically import the data, so I'm not sitting there on a keyboard or don't have to be in front of a keyboard to type it all in. With Xero, I find myself working just about anywhere I want to now. I used to be stuck in my office. However, Xero being cloud-based means that I can work in my office when it's convenient, or I can work at the kitchen table, or on the site, or away from home. I can always access my data anywhere.
So now we've talked about how technology can help you answer those key questions. But how do we get to the next level? Why did you start your business? Think about that for a second. What is your why? I'm sure it wasn't to get into business to become an accountant or bookkeeper, unless you're like me. Technology allows us to automate those time-consuming tasks so you can focus on your why, your best work. And what's the value of your time? When you factor in the value of your time, cloud accounting software soon pays for itself. So how do we get to that next level? Identify your gaps. What is required to fill them? Do you need to do some type of education? Most cloud accounting software and apps offer free online webinars and training sessions and other valuable resources. Talk to your peers, someone who's going through the same journey. So if you look around at your screen right now, you're surrounded by a lot of business owners on their own journey, and they might be at a more advanced stage of that journey. Send someone a message or a LinkedIn invite. Introduce yourself and ask them a bit about their journey. Or you may be that one that is on that more advanced stage of this journey, and you could be mentoring someone else. Start to build scale. Learnings are consolidated the more you do. So keep at it. Learning a new software or app may seem daunting, but trust me, the more you get into it, the easier it gets. And before you know it, you're going to become the expert. And manage expectations. Cloud accounting is still developing in Canada. Don't overpromise or don't expect everything to run smoothly in the beginning. And definitely talk to Xero. We can help.
So what else? We recommend you pick one item to work on, make your plan and work it. It's your script. You can change it. Your values are your guide. The more efficient you become, the more profitable you get, the more success you will have to enjoy living your best life.
On Xero's website, you can find a few key resources that you might find useful. Our Xero Central. There's always support on hand. It's our one-stop shop for all things learning and accessing that support. Our Business Continuity Hub. It offers a range of resources available created specifically to help your businesses navigate through COVID-19. And lastly, Xero for Your Business, helping you find resources and industry-specific guides to help you run your business.
And here are a few examples of some of those small business guides that you can find on our website. And finally, a quote from Nelson Mandela. Action without vision is only passing time. Vision without action is merely daydreaming. But vision with action can change the world. Times are changing and have changed. However, technology, which previously was only reserved for the bigger companies, is now available to you too. And as we saw, businesses that use cloud technology get paid faster and survive in business longer. It's a journey. So we recommend that you reflect, refine, and then implement what you've heard today, one step at a time. You can't do this all on your own. Reach out to your peers, connect with an advisor, reach out to your cloud accounting team. Thank you so much for listening. We shall now take your questions.
Wow, ladies, I must tell you, man, that was a phenomenal presentation. Well said, and it's so informative. We don't have a lot of time, so I'm going to hit you right here. Going to questions. I'm going to take you right back to the very beginning. You said something in the very beginning, and I think it's pertinent. You said that I think it was 80% in Australia in terms of global adoption, 50% globally, but only 9% in Canada are adopting digital type software. Why is that?
That's a great question, Anton. I'll take that one. So it's definitely well documented in Canada that we're slow to adopt. Our banking industry is definitely behind the times. But this all comes down to our governments and moving towards and adopting open banking in Canada. So in other countries where cloud adoption is higher, the government has been actually that one that's been proactive in making that push and ensuring it's more readily adopted. So our ask, we can make that push here. Reach out to your banks, reach out to your politicians. This is how we can get cloud adoption moving in Canada much faster.
Okay, thank you. Now let's talk about, within the integration side, because there's so many things here. You drop so many key pieces. What does integration look like? Think of a client, a small practice, and usually just have a bookkeeper, maybe 1 to 5 individuals. What would the integration process look like? Walk me through that.
Okay. Yeah, I can take that. Okay. Yeah. So when you talk about integration, you mean the integration of apps? What does that look like?
Yeah. So someone that heard about today, they got excited. They said, you know what? Yes. I like Xero. I want to try. What would that look like?
That's a great question. And what we typically recommend is that you start with the fundamentals, right? Start with your integrating your bank and your credit card, get the data flowing so you have that real-time visibility as a foundation, right? So that would be the foundation. And then the layering, the additional elements you bring in will depend on your business, right? Gotcha. So for example, when we looked at Brianna and Coco, their objective was to reach a wider client base. So they integrated Shopify, which is an online store, right? So depending on what your needs are, there are hundreds of apps that you can integrate. Now, if you're in professional services, you might not need to integrate any app. You might just be just connecting your bank, your credit card, and using the power and the functionality of Xero to manage your cash flow and manage your business. But depending on your industry and your vertical, there's so many apps that you could integrate. But our recommendation is start with the foundation, start with the basics before you build up.
You know, that's actually phenomenal. I was going to lead into my next question is, how well do you integrate with third-party softwares?
That's an awesome question. We have a very large app marketplace. So we connect to over 800 apps that are on the app marketplace, but we have an open API. So there may be other apps that aren't listed there that you can actually connect into Xero. You know, it's very easy to find that if you're using that third-party app and they may be not listed on our marketplace, to go to their website and say, who do you connect with? And get that connection into Xero. It's, you know, like I said, we can make your business go from tiny to large, depending on that app stack that you're going to be putting in specific for your industry.
And just adding to what Kerry said, there are also apps that act as connectors. Yep. Right. So like an app like Zapier, for example, will act as a connector and connect maybe an app that does not naturally integrate to Xero.
Oh, phenomenal. I want to give you a quick testimony before I go to my next question. There's a statement by April Mullings and says, I've been using Xero for one of my clients and have enjoyed seeing the improvements and customizations for the Canadian market in recent years. So there's a testimonial.
Awesome. Thank you, April.
So let's talk about that. When you spoke specifically on integrating, help me to understand. There is a web, you can go from a website, so things such as Shopify. You talked about QuickBooks and other ones, I assume. What would someone need to get started? Do they need to be from a place where they have an accountant already? Can a solopreneur do it? Or is it more complex? Like, what size of clients do you deal with? And what sophistication of those clients? Well,
there's two questions in there we can
we have limited time. There's so much.
Yeah, for sure. Let's do it.
To condense it.
Yeah, let's do it. So definitely, as we talked about in the presentation, it is really easy to set up. Honestly, it really is. An online accounting system that's well set up can really reduce that work. But it can't replace that advice that you're going to get from a professional. So, you know, we recommend that you're working hand in hand with an accountant or bookkeeper so you can get that financial advice, and you're making sure that you're doing it the best way that you possibly can, and you're maximizing profits for your business. And integrating, you know, is quite simple, really. Like Dosu said, connecting your bank feeds, your bank cards, that's the start of it. Really, it is. You go to Xero, set up a free trial, and just connect those few things, and then you're kind of away at the races.
You said go to where?
If you go to Xero.com, you can sign up for a free trial.
Oh,
yes.
Xero.com.
Yeah. I was going to add something to that too, Kerry. I was going to say,
please.
If you're already on traditional software, so if you already use a product that's a desktop product, then there are ways to convert to an online product. Now, the problem with using a desktop product is you're not getting that real-time information into your banking, for example. You don't have the bank feeds. You also don't have anywhere, anytime access. You can't access your books or send invoices on your mobile phone. You've got to go to the office to do all of that on one system. You've got to upgrade software, right? You can't work when you're on the beach or on vacation. You cannot collaborate with your accountant and your team on the same software. Those are some of the benefits of using cloud technology, of moving to the cloud. So if you wanted to move to the cloud, a lot of cloud accounting softwares, Xero included, has a pathway where you can move information from your old software into the cloud. So you just need to explore that.
That's absolutely phenomenal. In the interest of time, I'm actually cutting through some of the questions there. But you had mentioned in the presentation, one of your apps or one of your specific, whatever you want to call it, HubDoc.
Yep.
I want you to talk specifically about that one, because I think that's really attractive to particularly to smaller organizations that, you know, are wrestling with books and boxes and bags full of receipts. And
That's right.
Talk would automate that. Talk about how that could work with someone.
Mhm.
And is it a standalone? Can it be done in integration does it need to be the whole product? Talk to me about that.
Mhm.
Yeah, that's awesome. It is a standalone product. So you can just use HubDoc by itself. It does integrate obviously into Xero because it is a Xero product, but it does integrate into the other cloud accounting softwares out there too.
Mhm.
So it's not just specific for Xero. It definitely saves time. So CRA's regulations, we've got to keep our receipts for 7 years if we're filing tax returns. This is your digital filing cabinet. You can snap your photos and not have to worry about keeping those receipts anymore.
Right.
CRA will accept that as a digital copy of that transaction. So that is a huge, huge thing. You're not having those bags of receipts. You're not having boxes. And definitely me being in public practice, I used to get those all the time. I would get a big giant banker's box full of receipts. You know, HubDoc is quick and easy. Snap it with your phone, scan it and upload it, digitally fetch it. That feature is amazing. It really can save time. So it is a standalone. You can just use it like that as a digital photo like filing cabinet, or you can connect it and save time with that data entry because it will extract that data. It will push that into your software for you. So you're not manually typing out that transaction.
Mm-hmm.
Phenomenal.
And can I add one tiny little thing to that? Right. So something I also really love about HubDoc is, have you ever tried searching for a document in your office? Do you know how much time that takes? This is like an online digital filing cabinet, and all you have to do is just type a date range or the name of the vendor, and it pulls up the receipt. So it really streamlines your ability to find and to store documents. That's something I really love about HubDoc.
Yeah, we're basically audit proofing your business by using that.
Oh, we have, well, I think we're gonna have one more question, but here, before I come with that one, Bridget Barrett says, can the data get lost after you capture data by taking a picture of the receipt? There's a question by Bridget.
Yep, so in HubDoc, it will let you know. So if you take a picture and it can't translate that information, it will give you that. So there's a couple of tabs that you actually go through when you're in HubDoc. And one of those is something that you couldn't read. So just a suggestion, I would always wait until you can see them all processing. It does it really quickly. So it's not like you're waiting days. It will do it in some instances in seconds. So I would take the picture and I would just verify in my tab on my phone or on the HubDoc app on the website that it actually extracted the data. And once it's done, yeah, that's it.
I tell you, you know what? Unfortunately, we're out of time, but you remind me of what my grandmother used to do. I would see a little tip. I could smell it downstairs, but it was not enough to taste it. I had to go to bed. This was such great information you shared, and I really thank you for it. Let me ask you this. You dropped open some eyes to different perspectives. If somebody wanted to hear more, follow up, what would they do? What is your contact information?
Yeah. I was waiting for Joseph, but I'll take that too.
Go ahead, Carrie, go ahead.
So definitely go to xero.com, so xero.com. Once you're on our website, first of all, there's a variety of different tools that you can access without even having a Xero subscription. So definitely check that out because it could really help you in your business. But if you go to xero.com, you can sign up for a free trial. If you sign up for that free trial, then somebody on our small business team will contact you and get you started. So definitely a great place to start.
I thank you so much. Ladies, I cannot believe the time has passed. It's 3 o'clock already. We've actually learned a lot. Oftentimes you hear different information, but you also educated us as well as took us through a path and got our brains to think, which facilitates so nicely into the Level Up program. The whole view is to how do we enhance businesses, take them from concept to completion. So with that, to Carrie Dosu, I thank you both for coming out today. I'm sure we're going to have to get you back in because there's such value in what you shared. For those that they're in the audience as well, I'd like to thank you for coming out today to one of our programs. As part of the BBPA, we're putting on series of programs to continue to support you and the community is going forward. Later on today at 6 o'clock for the women entrepreneurs, we have the Boss Lady program. Tomorrow, additionally, we also have Wednesday at 12 o'clock, we have the Ask the Professional series. And that one was specifically talking about the journey to emancipation, our shared stories. And our special guest will be Rosemary Sadler. On Saturday at 10:30 to 11 o'clock, 10:30 to 11:30, I believe, we have what is called the Community Space. Is a program providing financial literacy to youth and young adults, which are basically high school and university students, is start them while they're young. And next week, same time, same bat channel, same place, Tuesday at 2 o'clock, we will also have our 13th session for the Level Up program. Before I say goodbye, though, I think I saw our President-in-Chief, Nadine Spencer, to say quick words of hello. If she's still there, I'll bring her on right now to say a quick word. Is Nadine Spencer, are you still available?
I am still here. Can you see me? Can you hear me?
I can hear you, I can see you.
I'm here. Listen, I was listening to this amazing presentation.
My president.
My treasurer.
Can you give me 2 seconds? I always want you to wrap up the show.
Absolutely. Go ahead. Go ahead.
I'd just like to say to these 2 ladies, my heart pounds so much when I feel excellent presentation and lots of goodies that we can take away. You guys have done a phenomenal job, and I'm so happy that we have recorded it, so we can always go back and look at it in perpetuity. And as an accountant myself, I just want to say to you guys that HubDoc or any software program that does that, not only help you file your stuff out, but I can tell you for auditors, when you're doing the field work, it has made that almost redundant because everything is right there. The expenses there and all the support is right there. So it does a lot. And again, I just want to say thanks, and we definitely will bring you guys back. All yours, my president.
Thank you, Michael. And I want to echo our treasurer's sentiments. When I was listening to the presentation, one of the first things that came to mind, Michael's absolutely brilliant, but he always says, no, my president, I'm not brilliant, I'm prepared. But he is brilliant and he's very prepared. But you guys were so prepared. It was just amazing. This has been like top-notch presentation, 10 out of 10. And I just want you to know that I so appreciate it. In the summer, I presented to the Zero team. I think in the States, I was on obviously a Zoom call like this, and the feedback that I had from the group was so incredible. And I just want to thank you guys for being a supportive partner with the BBPA. It's greatly appreciated. This presentation was just absolutely dynamic. We will be playing again and again. And I do run the BBPA's Boss Women Entrepreneurship Training Program. And it's 125 boss women. And I would love to have you guys back on. Our fearless associate is on the line. His name is Ben. I think you contacted with him, and I'd love to get you guys onto that program. This Zero platform, I didn't know all this about it, and I'm definitely going to go on and sign up. I just want to thank you. This is just absolutely amazing. So thank you so much for your time and your very generous support. And I look forward to working with you again and on so many other things. Merci. Thank you.
Thank you. Oh, that's amazing. Thank you.
As I said, that is phenomenal kudos from our accountant specifically. He loves the numbers. He loves the system. So to hear an accountant say he loves that, for those that are out there in the audience, you've got to take that with a grain of salt. And Miss Nadine herself, as the leader of Boss Women Program, is sitting down there, and she is a boss in her own rights. For her to sit down there and also acknowledge mercy. Zero.com. Zero.com. Those who not say
www.xero.
Xero.com. Xero.com. They were very
www.
Ah, yes.
Merci.
Brig the fridge.
Take care, everybody.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Audience, I appreciate you coming out. Thank you. Please come through, and again next week and continue to support as we go into the last week of our cohort. Will be the next Level Up program will be next Tuesday at same 2 o'clock to 3 o'clock. With that, we're off air. But anyone in the audience, feel free to unmute your mics now if you want to say a last few questions and last few statements to our 2 ladies. They were phenomenal. They passed phenomenal information. Feel free to speak openly at this moment.
Also, Anton, to the ladies, would it be possible? We do run, as Anton mentioned, a Saturday program from 10 actually the speakers are from 10 to 11, and then we continue from 11 to 11:30 to do other stuff. Would you folks be available on a Saturday to make a presentation, or it's
Yeah, is that for the mentorship one? Is that for the?
No, it's not. We call it
It's a
community
different-
spaces,
Oh,
and we
okay.
actually do financial literacy right now. That's what we're working on right now. So each Saturday there's a power speaker like yourself that come and talk about from credit card management to investment on the internet, that sort of stuff.
Yeah, I think Colin is.
All that kind of stuff.
I think Colin's probably still on the line, and I'm sure we can work
have
that through with Colin.
Awful presentation. I tell you, I've listened to hundreds and thousands of presentations, and I'm telling you, you guys, you've got the coordination. They're perfect. You know, it's not easy to have multiple presenters and you think it's one person. It's not easy. You know, it's clearly you're prepared. You know your subject. You're passionate about what you do. You know, I suppose you live and sleep and dream it. So it came across extremely professional. And I can tell you, I've seen a lot of presentations. So,
for sure.
Thank you. That's awesome for us to hear. Thank you so much.
So if you guys are available for a Saturday, 10 to 11 is a commitment time, and you do your stuff. And I think Zero, it's I don't hear a lot about it. I knew of it long ago. I've been to a couple of the live presentations you have in hotel rooms and so on. But you do a lot of stuff, and more people need to hear. And especially because, in our business, when we did the last poll we did for those who were on this program, 76% was sole proprietors. 68 was directly self-employed, and 8% was partnership, small partnership.
Yeah.
Only 24% was incorporated business. You're actually talking to a very captive group that Zero will help,
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I'm sure we can arrange something that we can jump on again.
Yeah, well, it's the next one we're going to have. We end all our program end in the 13 weeks. So they all start in the same week and they all end in the same week. So they're all coming to a close next week. So we'll start back around about May 8th, I think. So the first weekend would be May 8th.
Okay.
Would be when, so, you have like a month to decide if you can make it and how you'll do it and so on. So.
Sounds good. I hope, Colin, you're still on the line, and then we can.
Yeah, we can't get too much of a good thing.
Yeah, Michael, this is Colin with Zero. We'll be sure to chat with Francis on additional opportunities, but love anything that we can do to continue working with the BBPA.
Yes.
By the way, Colin, I had to thank you. I saw, man, you were on point responding to all the questions coming through. So thank you for that feedback.
Just trying to make sure helping Carrie and Dosu out for this presentation.
You did a phenomenal job.
Colin.
You did a phenomenal job. It was great.
We didn't even have a chance to see any questions, so thank you for answering.
I barely saw them. I'd see something go through, and before he even finished typing, he's already had the answer. He already had the answer.
That is also kudos to an excellent presentation.
Yes.
You answer all the questions that people could have, just during the presentation. So the few questions is really just to reconfirm. Like, I'm very much interested in the UpDoc because we do work with a third-party software right now, but it would be great for us as an association. A lot of paperwork passed through, a lot of paperwork. Right. And they're not real papers no more. They're all scanned document from everyone. So we don't even have to print. We just need to attach them into the system. So the UpDoc sound like
that's right.
Something we could just buy as a one-off standalone and use it to manage that whole virtual cabinet, as you guys call it.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
I want to take a quick moment because Alex has his hand. Do you want to ask a question? Alex, go ahead, Alex.
Hey guys, first off, I just want to thank everybody. Anton, Michael, forgot what the name of the president was. I apologize. And Carrie and for say your name, not butchering it. So I'm just a little, I'm glad I was able to kind of come across this, and I was able to attend this meeting. I've missed the last few. I speak French and English, so I know that I got the one for April 1st that was in French. So I just finished watching that. I just want to like kind of binge watch the whole series. I was just kind of wondering where I could kind of get that. I know I've just subscribed to the YouTube, but there isn't anything particular about this series. I was wondering if it's maybe on the website, or maybe it's like a Zoom section somewhere, or Google Drive. I could maybe just kind of binge watch just to kind of get a little more information, because this is great for the business that I have here in Edmonton.
Well, first, I can respond to that one real quick, or maybe Michael want to respond to that.
Well, we do record them, and they're saved. You go on the website, the bbpa.org, and you should be able to find it, and then it redirects it to YouTube. But I think we may be a little behind, because we run 4 programs each week, and we all record the 4 programs, and then we have to get the experts to do what they do to get them where they ought to be. But we will have all of them there, Alex, and not just this program. Even though the president mentioned the Boss Woman program, it's really just an emphasis on the Kerrys, and I'm not even going to try that name.
Josu.
But you can see, there's a lot of information there. So we have got the Arts of Professional there. We've got this Level Up there. We've got the Boss Woman, and we've got the Saturday program there. So each week there's 4, and it's about an hour each, and so they're there. You want to go on the website, and if not, you can send me a direct email, treasurer@bbpa.org, and I'll ensure that we get the links to you, so you can go back. That's one of the reasons why we record them, so they're there for posterity. People can go through them at their leisure, and we ourselves can go back, and because as we roll forward with programs, we want to see what we can do better. So we look at what we've done and see we can improve in it. So
thank you. I will definitely do that, because so much information has been given today. I'm like, because I had to send an invoice last week for a documentary. I do video production and music as well, management and stuff. And this has just been golden. I've kind of shaved off a lot of months of training. I can the automatic is great. I can take a picture of the receipt. Amazing.
Wow.
Saves a lot of time. That's what technology do. I was about to tell Carrie and our good co-host there that there are 3 buzzwords we use in finance when we talk about monies, and so we see revenue, turnover, sales is vanity. I would say profits is sanity, but cash flow is reality.
That's right.
I should always remind your audience that you have to pay taxes with cash. So if you show profits and there's no cash to pay taxes, taxes and salaries are the 2 stuff that you must pay in cash. So it's one thing to see the profits. If you're not managing that cash flow, you're in serious problems. So
exactly, yeah.
But yeah, no, I'll definitely check the website, and thank you very much, everybody.
Thank you for sharing.
Yeah.
One thing I must tell you, I'm a little disappointed. I'm slightly disappointed with HubDoc for one reason, though. When I think of the possibilities of HubDoc, I think of the additional work it's going to take for breaking down my shoe boxes. They were great. They were absolutely great. They were storage. They could use for creative. No, all joke aside, I think that's a phenomenal tool. I think if you have other tools that work in tandem with that, it's a great portfolio. And I think this is oftentimes what's needed, because truly what it really is, oftentimes people start a business not really understanding how to scale. It's one thing when you're small and you only have a few receipts, receipts or invoices to hold on to. But when you start to scale up or position yourself so that you can scale, you need to have the effective systems and tools that allows you to scale without getting, over inundated with the administrative side. And what you're proposing is absolutely phenomenal. So if that is only one of your software applications, I'd love to see all of them. In tandem. So
also, I love a point you make that I think require re-emphasizing. Meet the client where they normally work in terms of their payment pattern. If someone is always on his phone,
That's right.
get the invoices on his phone.
That's right.
Right, because that is a challenge to Alex, as you say about your invoice. I say to folks, I like to work with computers. So when they send stuff on my phone, I'm having a problem. They say, Mike, I sent it to you. I said, I don't see it on the computer. Oh, we sent it on your phone. I said, no, I use my phone to make calls. I'm not looking there for it, you know.
That's
so
right.
if somebody use their phone to make payments and so on, it's good when you have an app that will get an invoice on their phone. They can do whatever they need to do on their phone to make that payment. So
it's a question to you, ladies. So you've brought some phenomenal stuff to what you're doing right now. What's next? Where do you guys see yourself going next in terms of an organization? How do you guys, what's your roadmap to help clients? Are you going to be more focused on clients? Are you more focused on working with accountants? What's the vision?
Yeah, so my team, so that Dosu is a part of, we work with the accountants and bookkeepers. So we really try to enable those accountants and bookkeepers to become the expert in Xero and the integrations and the apps and all of those things, so that they can really help the small business clients that they have, so that they take that knowledge that we've shared with them and they work with their clients. So that's where we make the biggest impact, and that's where we'll continue to grow our team and continue to work with those accountants and bookkeepers throughout Canada and get, the brand out there more, get people more used to using Xero, and so small businesses can thrive and survive.
Perfect.
I'm going to let you into a little secret about the competition. You're on the right track in terms of how you're positioned the use of Xerox and the use of accountants, because some third-party program suggests that you don't need an accountant.
That's right.
And that's so not true.
Exactly.
The software is very efficient in doing repetitive stuff.
Yep.
But when it comes to taking decision, you need their accountant. So I like the way you pitch it, because a lot of the challenges I have with some of my clients now have been on other third-party stuff. And they say, oh, yes, drag it from the bank. And then the bank dragged the stuff over twice.
Right.
And they didn't realize, the bank the software create automatic rules. So if you do the same thing 3 times, the bank presume the 4th time, that's the way you're doing it. And, that's happened. So the way you're pitching it, I think from an accounting perspective is a right way. You have to work with your trusted advisor, but the software is there to facilitate and to assist.
Exactly. Yeah, totally. It takes that mundane task work from everybody's jobs. And then the accountant can really focus on what's important, right? Is giving that advice and being that strategic partner.
It's not going to replace the accountant, speaking very colloquial now.
No, it won't.
It's not going to replace. It's going to do the mundane things that I don't like to do very good. But when it comes to the decisions and, whether you can put a journal here or a journal there, it's going to go back to it. Yeah, listen, guys, I'm going to have to jump now, but thanks again. And just let us know, treasurer@bbpa.org, if you guys are available to come back anytime on any one of our programs. Any single one of your partners, as the president mentioned, you're actually a real partner to us. They got some benefits from you otherwise, so we greatly appreciate it,
Yeah, we'd love to.
And we'll always open our programs for you guys to come back.
That's awesome.
Right.
Thank you. Thank you
Thanks,
so much.
guys.
Thanks for having us.
With that said, for all, thank you for joining. We're about to sign off, and we sign off with love and kindness, and we wish you all the best going forward. Again, to Dosu and to Carrie, you guys really were phenomenal. Colin, you provide some great information on the back end. We appreciate you. As Ben, you're always good there, and I'm telling you, anybody else, I appreciate your contact and feedback. I appreciate you coming through, and as we continue to support you, let us know how we continue. As I said, this was phenomenal information, and we're looking to do it again next week. So for those that are available for the Boss Women program tonight at 6 o'clock, love to see you tomorrow at Wednesday at 12 o'clock with the Ask Professional series, and Saturday at 10 o'clock in the morning, we have the community space, and again, we'll be here next week. Again, thank you all. Be safe. Until next time.